morning. If you are logging in early with me, welcome. It's always nice to have a minute. We get attendees from all over the country. Let me know in chat where you're logging in from. And I just put in chat, let me know if you're using video now for your business. I see San Diego. Well, we're almost neighbors. I'm in Southern California too, but in Long Beach.
Good morning, everyone. This is Leticia with SCORE, and welcome to this wonderful webinar by Ronnie Ramos. And I'm in Irvine. Let us know where you're connecting from. Thanks for joining us today.
And we'll be starting in just 2 minutes, right at 10 o'clock my time. I see some people are using video, maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll get you excited to use it more. And I see some people who are not using it. So hopefully I will be able to address both of you. And if you have questions, no matter what it's about with video, post in chat. I'm going to be checking over in chat, and I want to be able to answer your questions in real time. Oh, I even see Jerry from Hawaii. Aloha. San Francisco. Very nice. Baltimore. Someone is saying it's time consuming to create a video. Yes, it is. And I'm never going to tell you that this is easy. I can make things easier, maybe a little less daunting. And that's my goal for you today. I do want you to get excited about video because I think it's so important for all of us as business owners to use it. Okay, it's 12 o'clock my time. I'm so used to doing my webinars at 10. Good afternoon officially. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am excited about this presentation about video because I think video for all of us as business owners is so important. So I like to think of it as video can be your hardest working employee, and it really is doing a lot of the heavy lifting about getting our messages out online. Before we dive in, I want to show you with a video my favorite part of SCORE, which is their free mentoring, no charge, amazing. And I'm showing this to you with a video and actually an AI generated video. So all of the pieces in this video, except for a couple of scenes with a real mentor, are AI generated. But whether the images that you see are AI, SCORE has real human mentors. I had a human mentor from SCORE when I started my business, and it was amazing. I can't tell you the value that SCORE brings to businesses, but let's watch a video about it.
Starting or growing a business can feel exciting, confusing, and overwhelming, sometimes all in the same day. And today there are more tools than ever to help. You can ask AI for a checklist, a marketing idea, or a quick answer. But your business is not just a checklist. It is your time, your money, your dream, and your future. That is why a real human mentor still matters. A SCORE mentor can listen to your goals, understand your challenges, and help you think through what makes sense for your business. From the first spark of an idea to writing a business plan, improving your marketing, understanding your numbers, managing growth, and planning what comes next, SCORE is here to walk alongside you. Mentoring is available at no cost, no pressure, no sales pitch. Just experienced guidance, practical advice, and a relationship built around helping you succeed.
It doesn't matter where you're at in your business journey, whether you're starting, you're growing, or you're a mature business. Every company has a unique set of opportunities and challenges. SCORE mentors are here to help you think out these issues, develop a solution, and implement that solution.
You do not have to build your business alone. Request your free SCORE mentor today. With SCORE, your success story can start with one conversation.
Like I said, I could not agree more. And we will be talking about creating AI videos in a few minutes. We talk about so many types of videos, whether you're recording you can use an AI. Really, video is something I think we all need to really include in our business plan. But in this day and age of AI, this is really me. I'm sitting here with you today. I'm Ronnie Ramos. My company is Harmony 3 Productions. So video is a big part of who we are, but it has morphed into more than that. These days we're called digital creators. And I love all the new technology and utilizing AI and how it's just changing the creative landscape. So what we do is we help small business owners and creative teams use these tools in a way that feels approachable for them. I do a lot of consulting and hand-holding and getting people used to using the tools for themselves. And that's what I'm here to work with you today. So like I said, chat's going to be open. This is your time to ask questions, and let's find out what your struggle is and see if we can brainstorm a solution to that. My goal for my business is to get my clients excited about what's possible and without being overwhelmed by it. So whether it's I consult with them on how to do it themselves or we do full production creative content, this is my wheelhouse. I'm so glad to share it with you today. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I'm LinkedIn, it's Ronnie Ramos, and on most other social, it's under my business name, which again, Harmony 3 Productions. If you want my best tips on a semi-regular basis, sign up for my newsletter. I'm always in my newsletter talking about things that maybe aren't quite ready for a full webinar yet, but things that I'm playing with, exploring. Sometimes it's just random bits of encouragement, but I definitely try to keep it entertaining and of value. So let's talk about what we're going to cover today. So take in this hour as deep a dive as I can get to what's performing for you, for an action plan for you this week. So we'll look at the shift in consumer behavior and why I think video is the primary way that people want to get information online. What's actually outperforming, what's doing really well, which formats, what kind of hooks to think about, triggers that are winning across platforms now, starting in 2025, 2026, it's really exploding and only going to be moving forward. So we'll look into a few of the platforms, a little deeper dive into them, but I want to show you what's available out there, show you some of the AI tools for your workflow. And my favorite is the 3 R's: to repurpose, reuse, and refresh. How to multiply your content output from what you've already got, and then kind of build a little action plan, specific next steps that you can take this week. No big budget required. Okay, I think I saw a question in chat. I see people are posting in chat and in Q&A. If you can post in chat, it's easier for me to kind of keep an eye on that. So someone's saying how important it is to use video on your website. 100%, absolutely. It's so important these days to get your message across, and I think visually gets it across the fastest that we've come up with. So it's not about going viral. So a video seen by 200 of the right people, maybe it's existing customers or warm leads or your prospects, it's worth way more to your business than seen by 200,000 of the wrong people who are not going to be your customers. So with video, you're building visibility and basically a trust engine. You're not chasing the trending audio or whatever the new things are on a lot of the videos that you see. All right. So this number changes kind of everything how people are getting content these days. On average, like 17 hours of video per week per person. So that's why it's important that you use video now. Video is no longer just a content type, it's the primary way that we consume information online. So text and static images really are now the secondary experience. Your brain can process visuals 60,000 times faster than text. And video combines motion and voice and your face, and it triggers the same trust signal as an in-person conversation. And this is so true. I think we've all experienced this through Zoom, that we meet with people on Zoom and then we meet them in person. It's like we already know them. There's not that disconnect. Video really does work. So for smaller businesses, I love this. It's a competitive equalizer. You don't need a big studio, a big crew, a big budget. You just need your phone and a good light and the right strategy, and that can do a lot to level the playing field. So the gap between I should do video, and I hear a lot of clients saying, oh, I really need to do video, and actually doing it, that gap is closing. And that's exactly what I want this session to do. Let's close that gap. Let's make it feel a little less intimidating. I know you can do this. It's just not that hard. You just have to get started. All right. So why is your brain wired for this? Well, motion triggers attention. That brain, your visual cortex, it prioritizes moving objects. Of course, this is built into us. Something's moving. It could be something dangerous. It could be something good, right? You've all seen those memes with dogs going squirrel, right? It's the way that we want to capture attention. Your voice builds trust. Hearing a human voice activates the same neural pathways as an in-person conversation. So text simply can't replicate that. And face recognition, that's hardwired. We're wired to read faces. So on-camera video gives your customer a person to trust, not just a brand to consider. So let's caveat there, put a little asterisk on that. Now, what about AI videos? It can trigger a lot of those same, neural pathways that we're talking about, but our brain is pretty smart and it can recognize AI. So if you're going to use AI video, you need to weigh out whether your message is the right platform for that, if that's the right platform for your message. For me, I'm a content creator. Absolutely. I use AI video all the time because it's one of those tools that I want to get people excited about. For SCORE, I wanted to make sure we utilize some of the new tools, that it's not just here's old school marketing. We've at SCORE are plugged into all the new things. So I think it was important to show an AI avatar, but say real human mentoring. So that's a way to do it, is be transparent with it. And if your business is based on that connection with your audience, that human connection, right? Then you got to be on camera. Probably not the best time for an AI avatar, but all of you, we all have different audiences. You need to decide whether an AI avatar could help ease that load because it can save you a lot of time, or whether you really do need to focus on you connecting with your audience, you being on camera. All right. Okay, so what's actually outperforming right now? So we'll go over the formats and the algorithms and triggers behind today's top performing video content. So number one, short form vertical video. It's really number one for discovery. It reaches people who don't follow you yet, right? So that would be things like Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. They're the only organic format that consistently gets distributed beyond your existing audience, which is phenomenal. Now, short form means short. 45 to 90 seconds is kind of the new sweet spot. Very short clips kind of underperform. 45 to 90 seconds really allows some context, some story, and that payoff, all within that little attention window. You go any longer and they don't want to watch long videos anymore. except for maybe on YouTube. And that's another good thing, is that long form is making a comeback. I digress. Completion rate is the key metric on your short form videos, really on any video, but you're much more likely to get somebody to watch the whole video on short form. The algorithm tracks how many people watch all the way through. So a shorter video watched all the way through beats a longer video that's abandoned earlier. So there is a place for long form video, absolutely, but on social, think short form. All right. You've only got about 1.5 seconds before they start scrolling and go on to the next video. That's your hook window. What helps hook them to watch the rest of your video? Well, you start with bold visual contrast, right? You want people to see what's going on. High contrast in the first frame, bright versus dark, motion versus still registers by the brain before language kicks in. What about an unexpected opening statement? A contradiction or a bold claim or a specific number creates that little curiosity gap that the brain wants to close. So predictable openings, your brain's filling in the blanks, you kind of get scrolled by. Direct to camera eye contact. Yes, please. Looking directly into the lens mimics that in-person conversation, and the brain reads this as personal and direct, even through a screen. So what not to do? Boy, in the past, we used to do this all the time. Have an opener with your logo and an intro into, who you are. Animated intros and welcome back openers are scroll triggers. Your value needs to arrive in the very first spoken word. All right. So here's 4 structures that can help stop the scroll. These are proven openers and you can adapt them to your industry and your voice. The contradiction hook. Most business owners do this wrong. You're going to talk about, the type of business owners, and it's costing them customers. So most, whatever type of business owners, do this wrong, and it's costing them customers. So you're interested if that's the type of business person you are. It opens a gap between what they believe and what's true. What about the curiosity gap? 3 things I never tell clients until they ask. Here's the first. That creates that urgency to keep watching to get the payoff. The specificity hook. If your specific problem is a specific symptom, this is exactly why. It's hyper specific and it beats generic every time on social. What about the result first hook? Start by showing the final result, the transformation, the finished product, the final outcome, and then walk back from that. So long form, as I said, it's making a comeback, and I'm for that. YouTube videos, 7 to 15 minutes long, are outperforming short clips in search and watch time. YouTube is not a social platform anymore. It's the world's 2nd largest search engine. Videos in the how-to and explainer categories are seeing increased search rankings and watch time since 2025. As I said, it's moving on, and I see it continuing into the future. Long form works when intent is high. Someone is actively searching to solve a problem or learn something specific. That person is far more likely to buy your product, sign up for your service. The key is for you to know what to make videos about. And YouTube has a wonderful way to show you. It's their search bar. In their search bar, you can start to type. For example, I wanted to make a video about email marketing. So in the search bar, I was going to type email marketing something. I typed in email and then MA for marketing, and a list of topics about email pop up, like email marketing for beginners, email marketing for nonprofits. All of these are not suggestions. These are actually things that people are searching for. Actual things that people have typed in the search bar. Those are videos you should make. whatever your content area is, try that, see if things come up. Some people's area is such a narrow focus, things don't come up. Start to broaden that until you see things come up that people are searching for, that you have a solution for their pain point or information that is valuable to them, and use that phrase in your title, your description, in your closed captions, because that's how the algorithm works. It's giving you a head start on what to make videos about. All right, I see a couple of questions here. Someone is asking about, can you see more examples of hooks? You are going to get the presentation, the video of it, and the slides. And I'm going over a lot of things that I just want to get you to see the value in, for example, hooks, but we're not going to go in unless we have time at the end. I want to make sure I get you a lot of this general information, and then you can start thinking about it. What if you said, oh, but I want a hook for my business? I would take that style of hook that I showed you, put it into ChatGPT, say, this is my business. How would I utilize a hook like this for my business? That is exactly how I work with my clients. I utilize something that I want to do. I take it into ChatGPT, give it the information about either myself or my client, and say, using this hook format, give me 5 examples of hooks that would apply to my business. So that is exactly how I would use it. Okay, let's see. All right, so we've got short form video, we've got long form video. So what short form can't really do? It can't build that deep authority like a long form video can. So a 10-minute tutorial demonstrates your expertise in a way that no 60-second clip can. So it positions you as that go-to category. Now you might say, a 10-minute tutorial, who's going to watch that? If it's valuable information and somebody is looking how to do something and you have a 10-minute tutorial, they're going to watch it, right? And those short form videos aren't ranking on Google, and the longer form videos really can convert to a warmer audience. So viewers who watch 8 minutes, 10 minutes are significantly more likely to inquire or buy. They're already invested in time with you. And the more they see your videos, the more they watch your videos, the more that they feel like they know you, much more likely to purchase, buy, collaborate with people that you feel like you know and trust than strangers. All right. A talking head video with bold caption overlays, it's kind of outperforming those really polished, graphics that you see on LinkedIn. No crew, no editing, no motion graphics required, just a camera facing video, sharing a business insight or a lesson or a client story really can reach decision makers in a way that no carousel post or just a written post can replicate. So on LinkedIn especially, if your client base, customer base is on LinkedIn, authenticity is really what you have to get across, right? Much more than production value. So raw, direct video consistently can outperform a polished one. Do I want your videos to look amazing? Of course I do. But I would much rather you get your content out there and be seen as that industry leader than wait until it's all polished and professional. All right. Now, behind the scenes videos. Again, long form is great for this. People love this. How we do what we do is evergreen content. That means the kind of content that's going to be good this year, next year, moving forward. Process videos, showing the process, how you do something, it builds trust and it differentiates you from your competitors. It works across all platforms. You don't need a finished product. The process is the product. It answers the question behind the question. It Customers want to know if they can trust you before they think about buying from you. And that's whether you have a product or a service. So seeing how you work is more convincing than any testimonial. It does work for every industry. So a baker showing dough being shaped, a consultant on a whiteboard, a florist building an arrangement. Process is universally compelling because we always want to look behind the curtain. We want to see how things are done. Again, it makes us feel more invested in you and your process, much more likely to have them follow you if they're interested in it. If you connected with them on one, then good chance they will follow you for the rest of your videos. All right. I see a hand raise. If you could go ahead and put your question in chat, that would be great. Another type of video that works exceptionally well is a testimonial video, outperforms written reviews. Imperfect, a lot of the times, can beat polished, and a phone recorded testimonial from a real customer a lot of times outperforms a studio produced one because they feel it is authentic, and that reads as credibility. You can ask your clients or customers to self-record a video if they're really impressed with your service, and that's the time to ask them, is when they're like, oh my gosh, working with you is so great. You say, hey, could you, just with your phone record a quick video that I could use as a testimonial, and do get it in writing that they're giving you permission to do that. Give them 3 simple questions, like, what was the problem? What happened after you worked with us? Did we solve your problem? And who would you recommend us to? You can use it in ads, in email. Yes, your website. Definitely would love for you to have a whole testimonial video section on your website. So that strong testimonial video can be repurposed, again, across every channel, and it does continuous work long after it's recorded. All right. Every question a customer has ever asked you is a video waiting to be made. Your frequently asked questions, they highly rank on YouTube. They get shared in response to your direct messaging. They become website content. They can live in your email sequences. You can build an always on sales library. 1 question equals 1 video. I don't want you to put like 10 questions in 1 video. Again, we have very limited attention span. They're short, they're easy to record, they require no script beyond knowing the answer, and never go out of date, right? So you start by listing your 10 most common questions that you get, frequently asked questions. Now you've got a 10 video content plan. You probably also know 10 things people should ask about your business or service that they don't even think about asking. That's another 10 videos. That's 20 videos right there to start with. All right. Again, I'm seeing hands raised. If you could type it in either in question or in chat, I'll look right over there. Okay. Where to show up and how each platform actually works. Natasha's asking about a link to the video recording. Yes, you get a copy of the video recording and the slides that comes directly from SCORE, and usually it's within 48 hours. Okay, so we're going to talk about the main players in this, which I think are Instagram and YouTube, LinkedIn, 3 platforms that really can move the needle for most small businesses. So why those 3 platforms? Well, not every platform is worth your time. You need to focus your energy where your audience is. Instagram Reels, best for discovery and reach. It serves content to non-followers, and it works for both business to consumer and product businesses and service businesses. YouTube, second largest search engine, best for long form authority, content, tutorials, and evergreen search. LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is so underutilized. It's got the highest conversion rate for service businesses and decision makers in a professional mindset, right? Video gets more reach than any other post type right now. Wherever your customers are, that's the content platform I want you to be on. And a lot of people say, what about TikTok? Well, it's strong for reach, but the algorithm, and sometimes there's some policy instability, make it a secondary platform for most businesses. Now, some businesses, if that's where your customers are, that should be your focus. If your customers are on TikTok, it's worth the effort, absolutely. But if they're not heavily on TikTok and you're like, but maybe I should, it's easy to repurpose short form content that you've already filmed vertically. If your customers on all of these, be on all of them. If they're on a few of them, be on those. If they're, for example, on LinkedIn and on TikTok, you can have the same content, but you're probably going to have to package it a little bit different. You don't want to be tone deaf. You want to spend time on the platforms that your customers are on, because that way you know what is trending is not what I want you to be thinking about, but I want you to think about what is appropriate for which platform. Typically, LinkedIn and TikTok are wildly different, but it can be the same content. You're just maybe filming it, saying it, presenting it a little bit differently. All right. How the algorithm actually works. Well, nobody knows for sure. Let's just be straight about that. And it's always changing. But on Instagram, shares seem to be the most heavily weighted. So when somebody sends your reel to a friend, the algorithm interprets that as high value content and dramatically increases distribution. What about saves? Second most important. Save signals to the algorithm, I want to return to this. So it's one of the strongest positive signals for content that teaches or inspires. The watch completion, that's critical. The algorithm tracks what percentage of your video people watch. High completion, they're going to show it to more people. Design your ending, right, to earn the full watch. What about comments and likes? They're helpful, but they're really secondary. Engagement matters, but shares and saves are truly what expand your reach beyond your own existing followers. All right. Design your video content for shares, not just for views. So how do you do that? Think about identity content. For people who see your content and go, oh, this is so me. Content people share because it expresses something true about themselves. You can also in your description or say tag a business owner who needs to see this. So you're giving them the idea like, oh, I know Susie down the street, they would love this. They tag the business owner or they share it. What about utility content? Something that's really useful for the viewer. And they say, I need to save this. Step-by-step instructions for something, useful tips, checklists, how to. People share this to their stories so they can find it again later, or they just share it themselves, share it privately, or save it privately. What about referral content? My friend needs to see this. Content that solves a specific problem so clearly that somebody immediately thinks of another person that they could share that with. Content that works for small businesses. So these type of formats, there's no guarantees, but they generally generate saves and shares and profile visits from non-followers. What about before and after videos? Any kind of transformation, whether it's a space, a product, a process, a result. The contrast is just inherently compelling and really can work in any industry. You've all seen hairstylists. Person comes in, their hair's, needs help, and then the final product looks great. What about landscape? You see the before and after of the finished space. Those type of videos definitely work no matter what kind of industry you have. What about day in the life, behind the scenes, your actual work day? Like I said, people love behind the scenes. It can build that personal connection and trust faster than polished content. Maybe it's a hot take or an unpopular opinion. Common belief in your industry, right, is actually wrong. Here's why. It creates discussion, creates saves and shares for people who agree and people who disagree. What about a quick tip, a problem to solution? Anytime you're thinking about making a video, your client or customer has a problem, you got the solution. That's a video. You can name a specific problem that your customer has and then solve it in under 45 seconds, and with what to do next. Simple formula, consistent results. What about what I wish I knew before? I'm sure you've seen videos like this. In a storytelling format, something that you are the experienced guide, and again, can work for any industry, has a high save rate because people want to reference it. What about a reaction or a response video? React to a common misconception, a trend, or piece of content in your industry, shows personality, and again, builds trust, sets you up as not just repurposing content, not just, having generic responses, that you have an actual opinion. People like that. All right. Here's 4 mistakes that can stop the algorithm from showing your content to more people. Watermark TikTok reposts. This is a big one. Instagram will they've openly said, kind of deselect and suppress content with that TikTok logo. So always remove it before cross-posting. And when I say remove it, I mean, if you're going to create your video in TikTok, it's going to have that watermark. So I would create the same video or start in a video editing platform and then upload it to TikTok and separately upload it to Instagram. Because that watermark will actively get your video suppressed. What about posting and ghosting? No engagement in the first 30 to 60 minutes after posting. It signals very low interest to the algorithm. So stay present. Those first hour, you're likely to get some likes, some comments, shares. If somebody comments, absolutely comment back, right? And as a tip that we recommend is you put any links that you want in your first comment, but give it about 10 minutes before you put your link in comments. Let it have a chance to see some people, because people are talking about, oh, you put a link in blah, 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 and it'll slow down the distribution. Whether that's true or not, can't tell you, but why take a chance? Put your link in the first comment that you're making. And this would be on any of your posts, not just on your videos. What about empty captions? I see this a lot. The caption is indexed by the algorithm, so use it to reinforce your message and include relevant keywords. Keywords and key phrases, start to really pay attention to that for any of the content that you're generating. That's what the algorithm is reading and looking for. It can't yet, and I'm sure it'll get to the point where it can. It can't see what's going on in your video. It can't watch your video, but it can take your captions, and if you're talking, your transcript, and understand what your video is about from that. So use your keywords and key phrases if you're talking in your video or if you're writing in your caption or descriptions. What about trending audio mismatch? Using audio that doesn't match your content, it can actually confuse the algorithm, and sound should serve the content. Now, when we talk about trending audio, as business owners, our accounts should be set up as for your business, not trying to, again, fake it and say, I'm just a person posting this, but I'm promoting my brand. You will have access to different types of audio with your business accounts. My recommendation is always just use what you are actually licensed to use. Okay, not trying to, tell it that you're not a business. You're promoting your business, you're a business. All right. Stop treating YouTube just like a social media account, right? It's your search engine and it has a social layer. So most businesses are kind of posting to YouTube the same way they post to Instagram, and then they wonder why nothing gets views. YouTube content is actually built around those search questions, just like I was talking to you, things that people actually search for. So every video should answer questions somebody is already typing in the search bar. The three elements that you can control that determine search is your title, your thumbnail, and your first 30 seconds of spoken content. The basics that actually matter for YouTube, I think, are your title. Use that exact phrase that people search for. Front load that keyword. How to do X, whatever it is, without whatever that common barrier is a proven title formula. So think, what would somebody type to find that? Also make great thumbnails for your YouTube videos. Canva is so easy to make YouTube thumbnails. There's so many templates, they're proportioned for YouTube. 3 to 5 words maximum on a thumbnail. A thumbnail is to let them know what the video is about, not to tell them all about it. Large, readable, right? That you can read it at a small size. An expressive face or a clear visual, no cluttered design for your thumbnails. Your description. The first 2 to 3 sentences are indexed. So YouTube and Google both read your description. The first line should include your keyword naturally and describe what the viewer is going to get. So when I say describe your keyword naturally, I mean that you're talking in a normal or typing it in how you would normally talk. You're not just stacking a bunch of keywords in there. And chapters and timestamps on your videos. If they are longer, absolutely. Timestamps create those little clickable moments within your video and dramatically can improve your retention signals. So they also appear in Google search results. So here's 4 types of content pillars, if you would, that consistently perform. Build your YouTube library around these, and they compound over time as evergreen search assets. On most other social, your content is gone. People aren't searching on Facebook for what you posted months ago, but on YouTube, they are in the search bar, they're searching for something. And if you have optimized your video title and description and captions, it can show up years later. It's amazing. How-to and tutorials, great for evergreen content. It's search driven. Someone has a problem, they're looking for the solution. This is the highest intent viewer you can attract. They're ready to act. What about product or service walkthroughs? Show exactly what working with you looks like. It answers that pre-purchase question that stops people maybe from reaching out. High conversion rate on those. What about industry myth busting? The truth about whatever the common belief is, performs well in search and generates shares and positions you as that informed expert in your space. Again, this is what I want you to be attaining, is people to see you as that informed expert. Client results and case studies, these can be gold for your business. Walking through a real client problem and your solution. Protect your client's privacy while demonstrating your process and show the outcome. Now, your client may say, no, that's great. I'd love for you to use me as a demo. But again, get all that stuff in writing all the time. You got to look out for yourself. You are a business owner. You can't just be using other people's problems or names associated with that problem without their permission. All right. YouTube Shorts really gaining a lot in traction. Use them as a feeder system. Short can really drive people to your channel and get you more long form subscribers. A short that teases the full tutorial or answers one question from a longer video creates a pipeline to your main channel. Think trailer, not the actual film. Short should leave the viewer wanting the full story. End with, I break this down fully in either link in bio or whatever you want to say, or see full video on my YouTube channel. Subscribers from shorts convert higher. Viewers who subscribe after watching a short often engage with your long form content at a significantly higher rate than cold subscribers because they've kind of seen what you're doing and what it's like on your videos. LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I think it's the most underrated tool for service businesses right now. LinkedIn's video gets significantly more organic reach than other post types on the platform. The audience is already in a professional mindset. They're open to business content in a way that they're not on Instagram and TikTok. A 60 to 90-second talking head video sharing a business insight, a lesson, or a client story reaches decision makers directly. No other platform puts you in that room quite as easily. So, what performs? We're talking LinkedIn. LinkedIn responds to professional honesty. Raw insight outperforms promotional content. Yes. So, what type of content could that be? It could be lessons that you've learned from real work, personal and professional. Here's what I got wrong about X and what changed. Vulnerability, you're showing, I got this wrong, but here's what changed. It converts on LinkedIn in a way that it doesn't elsewhere. What about industry observations and takes? I've been noticing a trend, whatever it is. And here's what that means for your audience, right? You're teaching them something that you've observed in your industry because you're the industry expert. What about client wins as teaching moments? Frame a client result as a lesson. We helped this type of client to do X, whatever it is, by doing Y. Here's how. It protects their privacy and it shows results. What about honest, I got it wrong type of content? This is one of LinkedIn's highest performing video formats. It shows self-awareness, earns respect, and gets shared by people who relate. What doesn't work? Salesy stuff. So salesy call to actions in the first sentence, stock footage, montages, overly produced promotional content. LinkedIn rewards people, not ads. Your optimal length right now, and everything does change on a regular basis, is between 60 and 90 seconds. So again, you can go longer here on LinkedIn. Long enough to make a real point, short enough to hold their attention in a professional person's very busy day and busy feed. One single idea per video always. If you got, 10 things you want to talk about, that's 10 different videos. All right. One video, 3 platforms. I like this idea to film it once and then adapt for each platform. Same core content, you can adjust the caption style. This is like what I was saying. If you've got some viewers on LinkedIn and some on TikTok, you can adjust the caption style or how it's cropped, vertical, landscape. You can swap the audio if needed. Watermarks, again, are a no-no. You can, if you're using CapCut or whatever editing tool that you're using, export that clean version to the different platforms. You're uploading to TikTok, uploading to Instagram, to YouTube Shorts natively. And that way you wherever you make that video, you don't have watermarks from the other platforms on it. So you would take the time to upload to the individual platforms without a watermark on it. Write a caption for each platform. So what works as a LinkedIn caption, absolutely going to be too formal for even Instagram. Just rewrite it briefly. It takes just a couple of minutes, can significantly improve your performance. Okay, AI in your video workflow. So AI in your video workflow, I think it removes every excuse not to show up, and how to still create without losing your voice. So 4 types of categories for tools. So you've got your editing and post-production. So you can use things like CapCut, Descript, Adobe Premiere, AI, auto captions. It takes the silence, those awkward silences out. There's noise cancellation, can make your voice sound better. It can cut editing time a lot. And what about script and content generation? Absolutely. we're a video production house, and we use AI to help with scripting and content generation. Claude, ChatGPT, they turn a topic into camera-ready, 60-second script in minutes. The fastest path to get from idea to recording. Again, touching on what about avatars and synthetic video? HeyGen, Synthesia, DID, they can create a digital version of yourself for utility content, FAQs, frequently asked questions, explainer videos, onboarding, it's great for this. What about in different languages? You can be you talking in a different language. Definitely read the terms on any of the AI tools you're using, no matter what it's for. Every AI tool has a data policy. Know what you're agreeing to before uploading your work or client work. Don't upload proprietary content or identifying information if you can help it. But know what you are giving away using any of these tools. Always read the terms and conditions, because some platforms claim some rights to your content. Read the fine print. They can include language that allows them to use your uploaded content to train AI models for promotional purposes. Never upload proprietary business information. That includes client data, internal pricing, unreleased products, contracts, or any confidential material to AI tools, editing platforms, or social platforms. AI editing tools have their own terms and conditions. So CapCut, Descript, HeyGen, each has their own data policy. So know what you're agreeing to before you upload a video for processing. When in doubt, check before you upload. It takes 2 minutes to scan a terms page. You can even take that terms page and put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, tell me really what I'm, signing away here. It can save your business from an intellectual property or a data-driven privacy issue you didn't even see coming. All right. What about using Canva for your video editing? Most small businesses are using only 10% of what Canva can do. So I do want to go a little bit deeper into Canva's editing and Canva, some of the tools that it has, because it's very user friendly. Let's see, I see a question here. Paolo says, AI has not been great at representing your own vision. It takes away your voice and choices that are specific to my products and services. Paolo, that may be entirely true, but if you have not given whatever AI tool you're using exactly who you are, what terms you use all the time, what terms you don't want to use, your branding, your color, your mission statement, a lot of information, it's going to give you generic content. And that could be your struggle. When we're working with clients, we have a long list of questions that we want them to fill out and upload to the AI of their choice, so that when they are typing something in the prompt, what they get back is really a reflection of their brand. So I do recommend, if you're going to be using an AI tool, what we call, build your brand persona in that AI, so that it knows who you are and has a very good chance of the content coming out will reflect you. That being said, I want all of you, anytime you get anything from AI generated, you put your own experience and expertise on it. It can make mistakes, it can hallucinate, it can be wrong, but it is such a time saver to start with. All right. If you're using Canva, you've already got a video editor, so let's talk about using it for a minute. Canva's video editor is built into the same tool that a lot of you are using for your graphics. No new app to learn, no learning curve. It's very user-friendly. Trim and cut. You can drag when you put your video in, maybe you have a 20-second video and maybe you only want to use the middle part. You can trim it in from the top or the back. You can cut and splice. All these tools are right there in Canva. You can add text overlays and captions, transitions and animations. It has music and audio. caveat back into using music, again, make sure that you are checking whether that audio, because they have audio for personal use and for commercial use, that it is licensed for commercial use. Again, you're a business. You need to make sure that you have the right permission and usages for anything that you are putting together in the content that you're putting out there. So images like stock images, stock video, music, make sure they're all licensed for commercial use. The other thing Canva does, and I love this, you can switch the exact dimensions of the video that you're working on. So say Reels, which is long and skinny, YouTube, long and wide, with just a click of a button in Canva. Yes, you're probably going to have to make a few little tweaks, but again, it's doing all the work for you. So love that. Canva has a free version and a pro version. The free version I always recommend if you're getting started with Canva. It lets you get your feet wet, see if you are comfortable with the tool. But all my clients use the paid version. I'm not sure what the pricing is these days. Typically it's around $150 or less a year, I think was the last time I looked. So many things that you have access to in there that in the free version you'd have to pay, $1 here, a couple dollars there, that I think it's a very good return on investment. Pro removes any Canva watermark and unlocks premium audio. It's worth checking out the free version, like I said, if you're new, but most businesses I know do use the paid version. All right. Someone's asking, what's the best video length in YouTube? That would be for YouTube Shorts, is the shorter form video like we were talking about, like 60 to 90 seconds. Longer form video on YouTube, you can make it as long as you need to answer your question, show your demonstration, and make it as short as you can. So basically, long form video can absolutely have a wonderful space on on YouTube, and people will watch those longer form videos, and YouTube is the best place for that. But that being said, don't just drag it on. Keep it as short as you can, but as long as you need to. Okay. In Canva, they've got some great tools in there to help you with your video. They've got something called Beat Sync, and you upload your video and with little scenes, and it can cut those scenes to match the beat of the music. It's great. Now, it works great if you're not talking. If you're talking, obviously you can't have that cutting up, but what a great tool. That sync to the beat, very, very professional move on that. Now, you can also animate any element independently. So your text, your images, your logos, each have their own entrance and exit. And this is relatively new in the last few months in Canva. It used to be you'd put it, it was very difficult. Now you have your timeline at the bottom when you're working on a video, and then you drop in your logo or text just on top of that timeline. It's on there, its own line, so you can independently animate or make corrections to whatever that element is. Transitions, it has a whole selection of transitions for you. And it even has a background remover tool. Now, I was very skeptical of this, and yes, it is not perfect, but pretty amazing what it can do, taking a background away in actual moving video. All right. You also have a brand kit and Magic Studio AI in Canva. Now, again, this is with the paid version, but the brand kit for me and my clients is just such a time saver. Just puts consistency on autopilot. You're going to upload your logo, you set your brand colors and your fonts, and every video, every graphic and post can pull from the same source. You just click over to brand, and you can have multiple brands in there and just drag those elements in. Very easy. It's got Magic Write. It has AI copy right there in Canva, and even has AI video tools. Magic Eraser can remove objects from footage. Magic Expand can fill in the edges. And Magic Animate can add motion to static designs, all inside that same tool that you're probably already using. So from getting started to getting it posted in Canva, here's my little 6-step breakdown. You open Canva, you go to video. So start with a video template. You can make a video with any template in Canva, but it is so much easier if you start with a video template. So just choose your format. If it's a Reel or YouTube or LinkedIn, in Canva, the size is already correct. They're very good at staying on top of that. Then you're going to upload your footage, right? You're going to drag your video clips directly into Canva from your phone or your computer. You can trim the length of it. You can split and sequence them on your timeline. No conversion needed. You just upload right to Canva. You can add captions with auto caption. Canva will transcribe your video and place captions automatically. You can then edit any errors. Again, applying that brand kit and for your fonts and your colors. BeatSync is available if you're using music, and then you can export it and publish it right there from Canva. One video can turn into 7 pieces of content, all in Canva itself. So the edited video, right? You've trimmed it, captioned, exported it for whatever platforms you're putting it on. That can be an Instagram carousel. You can pull the 5 points and just make those into slide graphics. What about a quote graphic? One strong line from the video styled with your brand kit. What about an email header image, a still frame from your video or graphic elements from it? What about a story or a highlight cover, a Pinterest pin, or a presentation slide? Once it's in Canva, you have so many options to take pieces of it for other types of content. Now, here's a few more editing tools that you might have heard about, and I can just kind of give you things to think about using them. CapCut, for small businesses, it can really be a powerhouse. Does auto captions with like 95% plus accuracy. Captions these days are no longer optional. Most short form video is watched without sound, and CapCut can generate them in seconds, and it lets you style them. Also has silence and filler word removal. Its AI can detect pauses and filler words like and ah and stumbles in just one click. What used to take like 30 minutes of timeline editing can really take seconds. You will need the pro paid accounts for some of these elements that it has available. What about voice enhancement, noise removal? Yes. And the free version is genuinely powerful, but for some of these more advanced tools, you will need the paid version. But I like that you can take your raw footage, what you've shot, to post it in 30 minutes or less, right? You import it, add in the auto captions, you trim those silences, you take out the little filler words, and you can actually add voice enhancements or change the language that you're speaking in, and then export. Once you decide what editing platform you're going to be using, learn that one. There's no reason you have to like learn this one and this one and this one. Pick one that seems comfortable for you to use, learn that one, right? And then your editing will be much, much quicker. You will have your do this first, do that first down. The minute you start making multiple videos, you get in that flow and it will become much easier. What about editing with just editing the text to your video? What about deleting a word from the transcript and that video clip disappears? You can do stuff like that with Descript. So Descript transcribes your video and turns it into a document. You edit the document and the video happens automatically. It also includes overdubbing, which is AI voice that matches yours for flub lines without you having to re-record. Eye contact correction. What if you're looking over here? It can actually turn your eyes over here. AI adjusts your gaze so that you look on the camera even if you're reading notes. Kind of amazing. Filler word removal, like we were talking about, in just one click, and studio sound, it removes background noises. Anybody who struggles with re-recording, this really changes everything. So how to fix a video without re-recording. So what if you recorded a 3-minute video, but you stumbled on a couple of sentences and you said 15 times? Well, in the past, you'd have to re-record that. Now you can open Descript and it can find all the filler words in your transcript and remove them from your video. Total time under 30 seconds for a 3-minute video. And it can fix the stumbles with overdub. You can type the correct sentence in the transcript and the AI can read it in your voice. Total fix time can be, again, minutes. Now, is it perfect? No. But the fact that there's a tool that can do this, and tools are getting better every day, before you re-record, you might want to try something like this and see if it works for you. Now, using AI to help with your script writing. Yes, please. I do this with every video script I'm doing. Because the real barrier isn't the camera. Most business owners hesitate to be on video because they don't know what to say. And AI scripting solves that. You review it. You make sure that it represents you, your brand, speaking in words that you would use. Then you record. You don't have to write from scratch. So a basic prompt structure for the AI that you're using could be write a 60-second Reels script for a type of business addressing customer problem in a conversational tone, ending with a call to action. AI scripts are a starting point and it's not the final draft. Read it aloud. So important. Read it aloud first. Change anything that doesn't sound like you and record it once it feels natural. And then you can use it for batching. You can generate 8 to 10 scripts in one setting, one recording session, and then you can you've got a full plan and you can record everything back to back. Now, a 60-second script that AI generated for you, you're like, okay, so how am I going to remember that? How am I going to say that on video? You can use a teleprompter app. The one I use is a Teleprompter Pro. There's teleprompter apps for your desktop, for your phone, and you just read the script and it's positioned so it's close to where you are. So it looks like you're looking at the camera, but you're actually reading the script. It works great because if you have a script and you think, oh, I got this, I'm just going to, chances are you're going to start veering off and not really staying to the point. Totally up to you. If you're good naturally talking, that looks really authentic, but know that you can work from a script and you can use a teleprompter. All right. So what to include in your prompt if you're having AI help you with your script? So for your business type and your audience. So you could say, I'm this type of business. You want to speak to this particular audience. You also want to talk about specific tones, specific voice direction, and your word count is important. You need to know how long the video is. And once you read it, you'll be able to stay on track. Remember, one specific topic per video. All right, we are at 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was my pleasure to talk about just my favorite topic, which is video. Again, you will get a copy of the recording and of the slides, and those come directly from SCORE. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramus. I hope to see you at another SCORE webinar very, very soon. Thank you so much.